The War of Art by Steven Pressfield is a great book that almost destroyed my fucking life. This book is what got me on stage to do the one thing that terrified me more than anything in the world. And here's how it happened. It's 2021. I was figuring out my life. I was in the gym in the morning and I'm listening to the audiobook. Then Steven Pressfield says this: the more scared we are of a work or calling, the more sure we can be that we have to do it. I had chills all over my arms. I was like, oh, that's it. That's the answer I've been looking for. And I asked myself this: what is the one thing that just terrifies me? Was to get up on stage and try to make people laugh. I actually got really good. I'm a teacher. But here's the thing, I hated it. I fucking hated it so much. Have you ever been to a bar on a Wednesday when there's nobody there except that one guy sitting at the corner of the bar? You know that guy. Oh, it's gross and sticky and weird and strange and dark, and you're telling the same jokes over and over. It's all a room full of other comedians who have already heard your stuff. They already know your jokes. They know the punchline. Each time I get up on stage, I was terrified, and I thought that was it. This is the feeling that is good. And this is the formula I came up with after reading this book. Interest plus that feeling you get. You know that feeling, the butterflies, plus being terrified equals good. That's your calling. That's what you're supposed to do. This almost destroyed my life because I read this book and I believed this nonsense. After doing 45 sets and hating it and just thinking about, oh, I hate it, but I gotta keep going because it terrifies me. And then one night I was like, wait a minute. Everybody is scared to do this. Every single person, when I told them I was trying this out, was like, wow, I can't believe you're doing that. I could never. That's everybody's response. I could never. If we all followed Steven Pressfield's advice and we followed the one thing that terrifies us the most, we would all be public speakers. Or maybe now it would be making videos and sharing our lives. It all comes down to the same thing, sharing in public. Now, as much as this book almost destroyed my life, it does have some good points. Steven Pressfield put a word to the one thing that we all feel when we want to do something and we can't, and that is resistance. This is you right now. This is the life that you are living. All the way over here is you and your unlived life. Your dream life with the money and the car and the big ass mansion. This is badass you. The only thing standing in the way of you and badass you is resistance. We all feel it, but what is it? We all know what we need to do to get to where we want to go. Resistance is, I don't feel like doing what I know I need to do to get to the life that I want to live. And it looks like procrastination, it looks like fear, it looks like excuses, self-medicating, drinking, drugs, now phone use, drama. It's anything that gets in the way of you doing the thing that you know you need to do. This is another part that I'm kind of like, ugh. So in the book, he says that illness and disease comes from resistance, not doing what you know you should be doing, not doing your true calling, fighting whatever it is inside you, the direction you know you need to be going. And he says this: attention deficit disorder, seasonal affect disorder, social anxiety disorder, these aren't diseases, they're marketing ploys. Doctors didn't discover them, copywriters did, marketing departments did, drug companies did. Doctors estimate that 70 to 80% of their business is non-health related. People aren't sick, they're self-dramatizing. Sometimes the hardest part of a medical job is keeping a straight face. Ouch! What he's basically saying is that 8 out of 10 people aren't sick at all, they're just experiencing these symptoms of resisting their true calling. Don't know if you could just go around saying that to people, because now we have science that shows that they are real. Personally, I experience that seasonal affective disorder, and I can tell you it is very real and not just resistance. When it's gray outside and it's cold and freezing and bitter and everyone's walking around, it's so cold outside. Yeah, okay, that's just resistance. I don't think so. Now, he doesn't outright say that resistance causes cancer, but he does heavily imply it. Implying this is not helpful, and it almost destroys the foundation of the book. So if you're feeling anhedonia, or you feel sick all the time and you go talk to your doctor, or you have ADHD, or you're autistic, or you have seasonal affective disorder, just go to your doctor and ask him for, a little bit of help with your resistance. And of course, you'll be cured. He does say that if you're feeling really, really bored and you're starting to hate your life and the world and everything around you, and it's anhedonia and everything looks like the world is collapsing, you're bored because you're not doing the thing that you want to be doing. But he also makes it sound like boredom is a bad thing. Boredom now is actually a really, really good thing. In fact, we need to get bored. We need to have time where we're completely bored, no phone, no distraction, nothing, just to process our emotions. We need time to emotionally regulate ourselves and just be bored. Your brain is the most powerful thing in the universe. Your thoughts and your thinking is what gives these emotions their level of power. So the resistance you feel is only as powerful as you make it out to be. If you were an addict and you were like drinking or doing drugs, or even you're addicted to your phone or anything, your brain is so powerful to go in that direction. If you can turn that around, overcome resistance, that means you have the same power to live the good life. It's just that your power is misplaced. I made tons of bad decisions personally. I used to drink and I used to smoke. I don't do any of that anymore. And that was what I realized. If I am that powerful to get myself this deep down into this hole, I can also be that powerful to get myself to the other side of that. Because the only thing making it true is this. You. The only thing making it true is you. This is where we have to come up with some solutions to the problem that is you. When I first read it, his solution sounded so profound to me, and here's the solution. Now, the more I think about it, it's just the same nonsense. It's the same shit we hear over and over, and I made a video about this before, is just take action, or just start. Get started. You're gonna wish you started sooner. What I'm starting to realize is that is actually more harmful. Just saying, just sit down and do the work. Just start. Stop complaining and just do it. That's not fucking working. Okay, relax, Scott. The amateur does the work or calling when it feels fun to them, or they do it kind of as a side quest, and the amateur just waits for inspiration to strike. The amateur seeks approval, and how do they do that? They look out into the world and they compare themselves to others. They're called reference points. We look at others people and then we find a reference point. Maybe it's money, or maybe it's their house, or maybe it's their status. And in this case, it's their work and their calling. And we see, is ours better or is ours worse? And we're on this kind of hierarchy, he calls it. What do you think the professional does? I write only when inspiration strikes. Fortunately, it strikes every morning at 9 o'clock sharp. That is the professional. The professional just sits down every single day and does the work. You see, that's the thing about resistance. Resistance resets every day. We have this expectation of, the more I do something, the more I kind of push past something, the easier it's going to get. And I talked about this before in another past video. Habits became this huge thing, and I'm so against them now after exercising for almost 500 days in a row and meditating. And then when I stopped, it was hard to get started again. And I realized, wait a second, it doesn't ever get easier. And that's because resistance resets every day. Doesn't matter. You could do it for years in a row. There's still going to be resistance. On the other side of the hierarchy, the professional works in a territory. It's their space. It's their zone. It doesn't matter what's going on out there. You do the work because you love the work. The more you love something, the more meaningful it is. You sit down and do the work because you enjoy the work. However, he also says very clearly, the professional has to be miserable. They enjoy it almost. Jerry Seinfeld says something like this:
your blessing in life is when you find the torture you're comfortable with.
Mark Manson's big thing is the same idea.
What's the shit sandwich you don't mind eating? Right? Because that's probably like your secret superpower.
What is important enough to you that is worth suffering for? But it doesn't mean that every day has to be suffering and every day has to be miserable, but you have to be able to do the work even when you don't feel inspired to do it. And one interesting point he has in the book is what he calls You Incorporated. It includes them sitting down, them scheduling, them staying disciplined, and making money. The professional does it for money. It's their work, it's their job, it's their calling. They put on their hard hat, they grab their lunch pail, and they go to work, and money is part of it. So we hear this quite often of creatives, you know, and asking for money or selling something feels kind of yucky. But it's not. It's you. It's You Incorporated. It's your business. And you are a fucking pro. Now, this last part of the book, you're either gonna love it or absolutely think he is bonkers. Your ego always wants to protect you, keep you nice and safe. It wants to keep you cozy and comfortable. So it keeps you in the safe zone so you don't have to go out there and people aren't gonna laugh at your work because you're never gonna do anything. Or if people are like, just be yourself. No, that's your ego talking. Your ego's like, just be yourself, you're wonderful, just the way you are. Don't hate me on this, but can maybe you agree with me that we're all a little bit fucked up? We've got some issues. We've all had traumas and bad experiences and bad memories. So if you're just like, I'm awesome, let me just be myself. No, the point is to improve in life. Now, the higher realm. I'm just gonna write this one thing that I just can't stop thinking. It's the muse. It was bonkers to me when I first heard it. Stephen King says it in his amazing book on writing, and he says it too. He just comes straight out and he's like, there is a muse. He's the guy chewing the cigar with the wings, standing in the corner of the basement where it's kind of dark and he's just watching you. But guess what? He's holding a fucking bag of magic. That bag of magic can change your life. Elizabeth Gilbert says this in her really incredible book. And she has this part where she's like, it feels like you're on one of those moving walkways in the airport where you're just going and going and going. Then all of a sudden you get off and you're like, what the fuck just happened? The muse watches you. Always, every day. If you are doing the work, maybe they'll come and help you out. But you have to show up every single day. If you start missing a day here or there, muse is gone. Just look at that. You can see up there in the corner, just some Post-its. Those were just some ideas I had yesterday. Look at just ideas. More up there. There's more in the bathroom mirror. Like, where did those come from? Is it the muse? I think it might be. The inspiration and the ideas only come when you take action. And even Johann Wolfgang Goethe says this about the higher realm. Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, magic, and power in it. Begin it now. We gotta talk about the haters. The haters are guaranteed to come out if you do anything creative. Let's say about 33% of people are gonna love what you do. They're gonna be like, this is great, this is so helpful. Thank you, you've changed my life. Then there are going to be 33% of people who are just neutral. Just, what's that guy doing? Fuck it. They think a thought and then they move on with their life. 33% of people are just gonna fucking hate you for whatever reason. The way you look, the way you sound, your stupid advice. I see some people, there's like people helping other people and then they like sell a product or they sell a course and so many haters come out and I just can't stop thinking of like, did these people go to school and like get education? They probably went to university and paid thousands and thousands of dollars for that. So when someone like sells a course or sells some information, I could never understand that. But here's a quote from the book. The critic hates most that which he would have done himself if he had the guts.
Theodore Roosevelt once said, the credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena.
Oof.
His face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who at best, if he wins, knows the thrills of high achievement.
I love this.
And if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly.
Choose.
So that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat.
It's not the critic who counts, it's the man who's like in there. That's the person who matters. The person who's on the sideline judging, no one gives a shit about that person. If you're watching this and you create or you want to create and you're afraid of people judging you, just think of that. You're walking through the gates. The critic is fucking up there eating their popcorn, you know, getting a big old belly doing nothing. Like, who the fuck cares what that person thinks? That's what matters, is having the guts to go do the thing. It's not about having the idea or thinking you could do it. You probably could. You could probably do all of this stuff and more and better, but you're not. And that's why the haters don't matter. So there was this guy in the 19th century named Dwight Moody, and he's up there giving a sermon. The sermon ends, and a woman comes up to him, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't actually like how you did that." And he looks at her and he says, "Oh, well, what's your sermon like?" And she's like, "Well, I don't give a sermon." And he's like, "You know what? I like my way of doing it better than your way of not doing it." Nailed it. I have it at 4.5 stars out of 5. That's actually quite high for my book summaries. That's in the great category. And I'm not gonna lie, I was influenced by everybody saying this is the greatest book and the ratings were really high. And years later, now looking back and finally making the summary, I was like, maybe it's kind of a shit book. It can be helpful. Understanding resistance is good, but things like the cancer stuff, the causing illness by just not following your calling, I don't know. It's more complicated than just saying it's resistance. Yes, this book is good and it has some points to it, but at the same time, like, it has some really, really shitty points. I'm giving it such a high score because it changed my life. It got me up on stage. It got me to think about, do things that are scary. You could get the summaries, they'll be free on my website. The link will be down below. I also have the deep dive summaries in Notion where it just goes super deep. So I'll keep that link down below. So what sucks about this book? I mentioned a few things in this video already. You know, the illness idea, this idea of, you know, push past resistance. It's dangerous. You gotta push through the resistance every single day. No. I'm over it. Another thing I hate is a stupid question, and you probably have heard it, and he says, if you were the last person on earth, would you still show up and do the thing? I fucking hate that question. How is that helpful? Do you really think stand-up comedians would go to a comedy club and just stand there and do the thing and tell their fucking jokes? No, because they need an audience. If they were the last person on earth, what? Many things that we do creatively, we need an audience. That's the whole point. Yes, it's for ourselves because we enjoy it. Oh, I'm like talking in a microphone. Did you see that? That just happened for real. We need an audience to watch us tell our shitty jokes. Yes, when you make creative work, you do it because you love it and you just ship it out into the world. But the point is you're shipping it out into the world because you're trying to help people. I believe there's an element of service that he doesn't talk about. He mentions it a little bit at the end and he says this: if you were meant to cure cancer or write a symphony or crack cold fusion and you don't do it, you not only hurt yourself, even destroy yourself. You hurt your children. You hurt me. You hurt the planet. Creative work is not a selfish act or a bid for attention on the part of the actor. It's a gift to the world and every being in it. Don't cheat us of your contribution. Give us what you got. It is selfish if you don't do the thing that you should be doing. Our job in this life is not to shape ourselves into some ideal we imagine we ought to be, but to find out who we already are and become it. This I can get on board with a little bit. Like, don't just be yourself the way you are right now. You're kind of a disaster. Become who you already are, the best version of yourself. Use those skills and talents and curiosities and motivations and interests. Like, you're pulled in some directions. You must be. You have this crazy, unique set of things going on here. All your experiences and memories and talents. I came up with this framework that helped me, at least, was VICE. V equals values. Is it honesty, trust, integrity, justice? So your interests will show you the way. Again, like with stand-up comedy, it showed me what I didn't like, I can certainly say that. And this one I think is the most important today, is follow your curiosities, because the world again is changing so fast. And then you become who you already are by following your energy. Like now, I'm making the video, I got energized when I came across a few points where I wanted to argue against this book. Boom, energy came up. Follow that. That's a good thing. So if you want more information like this and how to become who you already are, subscribe to the channel. As always, I want to leave you with actionable takeaways from every book. People read the books, but they don't take the actions. And this is why we read the books, is so we can implement some sort of change in our life. First one is this: Love what you do. Now, again, in the book, he's kind of wishy-washy about it. He's like, the professional loves what they do and they do the work because they love it, but also at the same time, they need to be absolutely miserable. Enjoy what you do for the most part. Find, what interests you and you're curious about, and it aligns with your values, and then it gives you energy. That's it. And then identify resistance. Identify exactly what it is, how it feels like, how it comes up. Like, what is that voice in your head? What's it saying? Another thing to remember, create before consuming. Now, I have a feeling some people could be like, well, I'm not a creator. I think we all are. I'm the most analytical and logical kind of like thinking person I know, and I still like to create now. I think we all need to create. There's a source in there, again, not too far in the higher realm, but we have thoughts and ideas and things that need to like come out, and we need to share those. Find systems that work for you. And then next, with those systems, try to measure. I use this now. I have 5 lanes of things that I like to do, but all of those lanes lead in one direction. What inspiration do I feel today that aligns with where I'm going? It's been life-changing for me. And it's not just the 5-lane highway. There are other alternatives and different things you can try. Maybe it's like that full-on sprint for, 90 days. You just do this thing, but your brain knows like after 90 days, you get to switch to something different, or maybe it's 30 days or a couple weeks. Big change has been the weekly goals. So, 3 or 4 top priorities that have to get done in the week. You get to kind of leverage your inspiration, your energy, your mood. This last one here is from Jerry Seinfeld, and it's actually quite powerful. I did it for comedy to write every day.
Get a calendar, stick it on a wall where you can see it. Every day you set a time and place where you're gonna do something. Every time I finish, I put a red X on the calendar.
There is a psychological aspect that really works where you're like, well, I don't want to stop now. I've got this many. Could you imagine a blank space in there? So you just keep going. I'm gonna leave you with this final question. It's not a matter of whether or not you have what it takes. It's whether you're going to sit down every single day to find out. So will you? It's always tough to get started with these. I haven't even recorded a word and I'm procrastinating. This is resistance. Let's do this. Come on, man. My drawings don't get any better, do they? And someone will be like, well, if you spend enough time and as many hours, you'll get good at it. Yeah, I have to spend a lifetime doing that. Look at this.